that between now and elections, I'm going to run every set of stairs that comes up. And that is to even further draw the distinction between myself and Dennis Lowe. How you can do it, he cannot. First of all, before I even start, I just want to acknowledge something. My campaign manager, Dr. Dan Carter, was recently honored by the Minister of Education. So it is good to see that coming on to elections, Ronald Jones has done at least one good thing. So Dan, congratulations on that. More honors to come from people who really appreciate you. A lot has been happening since last I spoke to you in Christchurch. Superstorm Sandy devastated Haiti and the United States of America. The death toll continues to rise in Syria. Dennis Lowe continues to do nothing in Christchurch East. I do not have a lot of time to speak. Our time is very short this afternoon, so I'm just going to get straight to the point. Lowe is what I would call a representative vacuum. He does not even know the meaning of the word represent. A representative basically is somebody who represents. Your representative is supposed to do on your behalf the things you can't do for yourself. He's supposed to listen to you. He's supposed to be your mouthpiece. He's supposed to help you. But to do that, the representative has to be seen. He has to be present. He has to talk to you and with you. He has to know your concerns. If you don't see a representative and you have not seen him for the last 5 years, how can he possibly claim to be a representative? I've been canvassing in this constituency for the last 2 years. And the biggest complaint in the constituency, you wouldn't even guess. Somebody make a guess. What's the biggest complaint? Half right. No, all you're wrong, no. The biggest complaint is not crime. It's not even jobs. It's bush. The biggest complaint in this constituency, from the top of the hill to the bottom, is bush. Bush growing everywhere. The crime is linked to the bush. The thieves escape into the bush. The mosquitoes people up the hill complain about is because of the bush. And our representative has a whole debushing ministry at his disposal. If nothing else should happen in Christchurch East should never flood, and there should be no bush. Lowe has been embarking on what I call reactive politics. An MP is supposed to take initiative. He's supposed to do something. He's supposed to know what your problems are and try to address them. An MP should never, ever, ever have to send you a letter like this. Be circulated. Go ahead and have the time to read it, everybody. I mean, listen, Angelo just touched on a little part of it. Great things come to those who wait. But he missed the most important part. The most important part is that this form letter was sent out to hundreds of people saying, I am sorry, we have not addressed your concerns. Things are difficult in the whole world. Things difficult in Barbados too. We ain't get to you, but you know what? Give us a chance. We may get to you the next time. You really believe a representative should send this letter around and still be the representative? But I don't know who advises him. This is the most colossal form of idiocy I have ever seen in my life. I know, Dennis, I thank you. I thank you very much for giving me this gift on the eve of election. My response, I'm going into it. My response on the back. Read it for yourself. But that's not the only form of reactive representation he's embarked upon. Lowe has no ideas at all for the constituency. Lowe, I realize, has been following my Facebook and my website. And when we highlight concerns and make plans to address them, then Lowe rushes in to address them. Case in point. A couple of weeks ago, I got a call down at Pegwell House. So myself and Lorenzo picked me on the early morning. The residents have been fed up. They met with me, they talked to me, they said we have been appealing to Lowe to clear the bush. Pegwell Bogs was no longer bogs, it was a forest. We call it Pegwell Forest now, or Pegwell Woods. Let me get some bush. They said they were fed up. They cannot get any help from the MP, none at all, so they decided to take matters into their own hands. A series of ladies, collection ladies, collected $20 for each person in the neighborhood. and they rented a bobcat. And when we got there, they had about 50 people, 40 women, out there clearing bush. So I met with them with our handy video camera. And I said to them, I really appreciate your efforts to help yourself. It is commendable. Right? I want to help you. I am here to work with you. We will help you. They say they do it every Saturday. So we said, next Saturday, I will get somebody to sponsor a bobcat. I will get somebody to sponsor a tractor. I personally will sponsor 2 chainsaws, and we will get 10 fellas from our constituency to come and help you clear. I saw a woman lurking around there in a yellow Dennis Lowe t-shirt. And I said to the lady, I don't want to call her name now. I said to one of the ladies, but you know, that's if I get a chance. Because I am sure now that lady, having heard what I said publicly, that your minister is going to try to do something next week. She said, no, we have been on him, Mr. Abrahams. We have been begging him. He's not going to do anything. He hasn't done anything for 4.5 years. Bright and early Monday morning, they had how many tractors, Lorenzo? 2 tractors, trucks, people from the Ministry of Drainage, people from Sanitation, people from NCC. If you all drive by Pegwell now, Pegwell, the forest, Pegwell, the woods, no, it's not Pegwell, the desert. They ain't got a plant growing in Pegwell now. Every bush, every blade of grass, every weed is now gone. Dennis Lowe, I thank you for doing my work for me. But understand, Dennis Lowe, without me, you are nothing. You are nothing. That is not it. So we said, well, he got here before us, and he cleared out the bush. But that road tennis court looked real shoddy. And we've been fixing road tennis courts all through the constituency. So Lorenzo, my good friend, foolishly said publicly again, we are coming next Saturday to paint the road tennis court. And we can give you 15 rackets. You know, the Friday, somebody from the sports council went and painted the court. But it's not just that. We started with a meeting in Foundation School, a meeting for the whole of Christchurch in Foundation School. That's how we launched off the Christchurch campaign. What did the LP do? They got a big meeting in Christchurch School. Dennis Lowe. But this is the worst one though. We had a series of karaoke competitions. We figuring, let's get in the community, let's do things. We had some active karaoke competitions. And we had one at Beeman in Parishland. I don't know if anybody knows Beeman in Parishland. We had a massive karaoke competition at Beeman. They had about 100 people. Lowe's right-hand man passed through early in the evening, saw the people. Next thing we hear, filtering through the crowd, Lowe got a line in the next gap. So we had a line with 100 people having some drinks, singing some songs. Lowe went on the next gap, had a line with 8. Count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people sitting on a block. Well, I would tell you, he wasn't drinking alcohol and they weren't singing. I leave it to you to figure out what it was that they were doing, but it's something that I would not be doing to earn a vote. Lowe has got to go. That was my slogan earlier. And yesterday, as I was canvassing, I was speaking to a lady, and I was saying to her, you know, how are things for you? Are things any better? She goes, no. She goes, no. I said, so what are you going to do? You actually take 5 more years of this? And then she gave me a new slogan. She goes, hell no, Lowe must go. So between now and election time, that is my slogan. And I urge you to pick it up. It is, hell no, Lowe must go. What has Lowe done for the last 4.5 years? Recently, he's given out some jobs. But the people in constituency are not foolish. You cannot have representation once every 5 years and then ask people to put you back. Your representation must be constant. My representation for the people of Christchurch East is going to be constant. It is going to be structured. It's going to have a plan. It's going to be sustained. It's going to be sustainable. When we go in, we're not going in to try to do things in the last 30 days before the election. From the time we enter into Parliament, from the time we take a representation of Christchurch East, it will be action the whole way through and not excuses. To show you the heights of the desperation, they give some people jobs recently. They put people in sanitation. Lo took on 27 people in sanitation. I give Jack his jacket. Lo, I'm glad you're hiring the people in Christchurch East. But use your common sense, man. You don't take on people in a ministry that cannot accommodate people. If half the trucks in sanitation down, so that the people who are regularly employed in sanitation come to work and then go back home because they have no trucks to work with and they have no work to do, why would you put 27 people in sanitation? Put them in another ministry, put them in debushing, and get them to work. But it is this Gestapo type politics that I really just cannot understand, and I cannot get a handle on it. And they seem to believe that the people are foolish and will put them back in. This reminds me of something. Domestic violence. You might ask yourself, what does domestic violence have to do with Christchurch East and Dennis Law? I'm going to tell you. When a man is accustomed to beating his woman, he beats her and he beats her and he beats her and he neglects her. She tells her she ain't worth nothing. He doesn't even make an attempt. And she takes it and he does it some more. But let that woman turn her eyes and start to look for somebody else. Right? And that man comes back in and he wants to get her back. He will say anything. He will do anything to hold on to that woman who is about to leave him. So you now understand what domestic violence has to do with Christchurch East and Dennis Low. Low, we are tired of the abuse. Christchurch East deserves better. It deserves action, not excuses. Now, I'm getting a signal there, so I'm going to jump. Low represents all that is worse in the Democratic Labour Party. Low is the poster boy for the politicians who need being locked up. Low scandal has followed him at every single ministry he's been attached to. When he was the minister responsible for the Sanitation Service Authority, one of the members on the board resigned. Why did that person resign? I'm not calling him. Please don't call him name. That person resigned because the minister was interfering with the board. The minister was usurping the functions of the board. The minister came to a meeting and told the board, forget your protocols in relation to getting quotes to fix vehicles. Don't mind them. Give the work to this person. $74,000 to fix a truck. Somebody pointed out, Minister, it doesn't work that way. We have to get 3 quotes and then the board must make a decision. And the quote came through. Welcome, Jerome. The quote came through. I am the minister. Do as I say. I am made to understand that there was a quote for less than half of $74,000. But the minister spoke and it was done. Then Low can't even control his own personal affairs. I spoke in Sayers Court that Low's water got turned off at his constituency office. You would think that the one thing that would not happen ever again is that his water would get turned off at his constituency office. 2 weeks ago, they saw his secretary hightailing it down to her house because there was no water and she could not use the toilet because it could not flush. A man cannot even be trusted to pay his water bill. And you want to put him in charge of a ministry that has a budget of $90,000? But there's other things that you all don't know. Well, I don't believe in defaming people, so I'm going to throw this out there. I would like to know which minister it is that has no respect for the law, so that when a court makes an order that he pay child support, he chooses to not pay it, and the court has to send him not 1, but 2 summonses with warnings to appear before the court. Otherwise, he will get arrested. It is only when I started doing my investigation, because I plan to blow it up, it is only when I started to ask questions that somebody will rush and pay the child support. As far as I am concerned, nobody like that should be in any ministry. More than that, he's the man that everybody knows was so foolish as to send a text out once asking where, what was asking? Well, I ain't saying it on the platform, because nobody's suing me, but all of y'all know exactly what it was. I have here a letter from him written on the ministry letterhead. The ministry letterhead to somebody who has supported him in his election campaign, and he had employed him. He said, I believe I have created the best circumstances for this position of any of my colleagues. I do this for you because I value your contributions to my effort in Christchurch East. I value your loyalty and your commitment. Once you continue to demonstrate your loyalty to me, I will do the same for you. Therefore, we can only go forward through an acknowledgement of the importance of mutual respect and teamwork. Understand, a minister, Dr. the Honorable Dennis Lowe, MP, and his signature here in blue ink, so I forge it, will write a letter on the ministry's letterhead telling somebody, I believe I have created the best circumstances for you. Once you continue to demonstrate your loyalty to me, I will do the same for you. You really feel somebody that should still be in government? Look, we need to get back to the basics. Frondell Short needs, I have 5 minutes, Frondell Short needs to take action. Now, to be honest, I will tell you something. When I get in, I am going to move heaven and earth. I am going to search high, I'm going to search low. I will look under every rock, and we will get to the bottom of what happened in the Barbados Water Authority that caused Chris Sinclair to order the Auditor General to prepare an audit for the time that Dennis Lowe was the minister. We will get to the bottom of it. The Auditor General said that those responsible should be prosecuted. Well, you know what? We will get to the bottom of that. People, I'm not just telling you all the things that he's done wrong. Let me tell you what I intend to do. With respect to the debushing, I have spoken to the powers that be. A system already exists in law where if a landlord or somebody who owns property does not clean their lot, the government can clean the lot and tack it on to the land tax and then go behind the person for it. And if they don't pay, they can sell the property, right? I will make sure that in Christchurch East, all of those people who own property and let their property overgrow to the point of being a nuisance to everybody else, that you are held responsible for dealing with your property. If you don't appreciate your property, then your property will be dealt with by somebody else. No, not the white trucks, not the white trucks. Last Sunday at St. George Secondary School, Frondell had this to say. He said it is not about, at this stage, about improving the economy. Neither party can improve the economy at this stage. It is about voting for men of integrity and character. And I repeat, it is about voting for men of integrity and character. I say, Frondell, use your own yardstick and clean up Christchurch East. Be a man. Do your job. You talk about integrity. You talk about character. Clean it up, Frondell. Clean up Christchurch East, because if you can't clean it up, we will clean it up for you. I am calling on the Prime Minister to investigate the transfer of the land at the old metal dump site and to fire those who are responsible for that. I am calling on the Prime Minister to investigate what happened at the Barbados Water Authority and fire those who are responsible for that. By doing nothing, Frondell, if you cannot even hold your ministers accountable for what they do, what are you saying to the rest of the country? I believe in law. I believe in governance. The Prime Minister is a lawyer. He should be about it as well. David Estwick should have been fired for that stunt with the gun in Parliament. David Estwick should have been fired for sending a letter telling people don't speak to Chris Sinclair. How is it that Dennis Lowe, of all people, Dennis Lowe still has a job? What does Dennis Lowe have on Frondell Short? Why are you afraid of him? What are you hiding? We need action, not excuses in Barbados. We need action, not excuses in Christchurch East. Is it going to be business as usual in Christchurch East? Hell no. Lowe must go. Do we want in Christchurch East another 5 years of reactive politics? Hell no. Lowe must go. Do we want another 5 years of nothing happening for anybody in Christchurch East? Hell no. Law must go. What do we want? We want action, not excuses. What do we want? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Speak to me, it's Sunday. Then vote action, not excuses. God bless you. God bless the BLP.